This episode of the Great Lakes Outdoors podcast is brought to you by
Migrate Ammunition, GK Calls, Gibraltar Boatyard, Point Malay Waterfowl Festival, Gibraltar Duck Hunters Association, Turtle Box. We'd like to give a special thanks to Brian Ellithorpe. Give him a follow on all social media.
We appreciate all the support. Now let's get to the show.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Great Lakes Outdoors podcast. Trav and I are sitting here with a special guest today, Chad Williams from Retriever Fuel. Chad, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How are y'all?
Doing great.
Not bad, man. I'm just glad to have you on here. I'm excited to have you on here after a long wait. I'm excited to, just pick your brain a little bit about our companions that we take out either in the fields or in the marshes, man.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm excited for this, too, because I think this is something a lot of people overlook. So
I definitely would agree. To start off, I mean, you kind of just want to explain or describe yourself and tell everybody, all the listeners out there, who you are, what Retriever Fuel is, kind of just give a breakdown in the beginning of, I guess, who you are.
yeah, absolutely. As he said, I'm Chad Williams. I'm the founder and operator of Retriever Fuel. Retriever Fuel, we developed it for active working dogs. It's a nutrition that's performance focused for active working dogs. We focus on the energy, the hip and joint focus and recovery. But yeah.
I mean, did you grow up with dogs?
I had one dog, but nothing, as far as for hunting or a working dog or anything like that. But yeah, more of like type couch potato type dog. Yeah.
I think everybody's got one of those laying around somewhere.
Yeah.
What kind of made you come up with the or have a thought in your head that, I want to give a product out in the industry about helping the joints and helping just everything for a dog to recover? Because I feel like a lot of people don't get, these dogs go out and make X amount of retrieves a hunt, and nobody really thinks about like the soreness or anything, the long term, just the recovery process of a dog out there every time.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background is construction. I own a development company. We build full custom homes. So back in year 22, I started an all natural dog treat company, and it took off, doing very well. But also, like around that time, I was out on a big hunting trip up in Kentucky, duck hunting, and we had a couple guides around us that had dogs, and it was really cold. Everything was frozen over, having to break ice around the decoys, all that. So my focus was already around the hoe dogs and just watching the dogs work. I love watching dogs work. It's amazing. If you haven't got the experience watching a dog work, it's amazing. So anyway, so these dogs in the freezing water, watching them retrieve, you can watch them just burn through the energy, just trying to stay warm, the recovery part, recovering. And then I seen the guide like give him a piece of Pop-Tart or a honey bun or whatever. I'm like, man. And with me, being background, like in the sports and stuff like that, going to the gym, athletic, working out, I was like, yeah, that's nothing but a sugar crash just waiting to happen. And, and it's the same thing. Like, and I asked the guy, I was like, man, is that all y'all got to feed them? And he was like, yeah, really. You can get some dog jerky or whatever, but other than that, there's nothing to really like keep them going. So I got back home and, I went to give my dog some of my regular treats. And I was like, got an idea. So started research and development, started working on it. And I was like, okay, definitely want to focus on not the energy, because the energy is going to come natural through this, but want to focus on more like the hip and the joint and the recovery and the focus too, because even days, like when a dog is working extremely hard and they start getting exhausted and they don't have anything to keep running on, they're already past that part of fatigue. And so and that's not good, especially for the people that only feed their dogs once a day, which we'll get into that later. But yeah, so it just came from just being out in the field. So
That's I think it's so overlooked on how, I mean, I understand the whole aspect of the dog's a tool, especially like waterfowl or upland,
yeah,
and I just don't think enough outfitters or just day-to-day guys or weekend warriors, whatever you want to call them, just really think about the aftermath of each hunt or every time that it is out there. Or I don't know, I don't think the dogs, I don't know, I don't want to say health, but like just the fatigue, like you were saying, after like every hunt. Like I know my dog, she's laying down for 2 days after the hunt, and then
yeah.
she's done. You know, so even when I use a product for the first time, I could definitely see the difference. But it's just it's different than anything out there, obviously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like as like I guess a fair weather waterfowl like I am, with how much time I have, like with
Mhm.
my dog, I'm bringing out a big old bag of treats with me, like dog treats to feed the dog, after a good
Yeah.
retrieve and stuff like that. So when you developed this product, was that your idea to be able to give that, like have a smaller kind of more of a concealed product where you can be able to pack into these places, or for like more like public land type style where less to bring in? And also
Yeah.
like having, is it like more of like a here's a nip every once in a while, or is this like a feed when you get out there type of thing?
So the idea from the very beginning of it was never thought about, in a squeeze pouch. It was just thought about just building something performance nutrition for a dog, and then looking at what's out on the market to see what's out on the market. And there was nothing on the market. So as I started developing the product, all research and development, what we were going to add to it. And then I started focusing on the delivery system of it. And then I was like, okay, this would be perfect. Definitely a squeeze pouch, handheld, that can slide in a vest, blind bag, whatever it may be. And so, so I definitely went that direction because I wanted where it could be used out in the field on the go. Because that's another thing. What's so special about it is it can be used on the go in the field. So this product was intended to be used first thing in the morning before a hunt, or before, I don't want to say just a hunt, say before any work's involved. So it's meant to be used before, during any activity, and after. So if you're out there for a full long day, use it. Before, get them about a quarter of a pouch before, and then throughout the day they get another quarter of a pouch or half a pouch, and whatever's left. If you're only feeding your dog once a day, then just use that as the kibble topper and give them the rest as recovery. And what makes this product so special is the delivery of it, of how it is delivered and how the dog does consume it. Because there's a lot of great companies out there, but we wanted something that was designed to give a dog that has a slow digestive rate that allows the supplements to for the dog to consume and absorb the supplements throughout the body. Because if it's something that's very fastly digestible, then it's in and out. The dog's not getting the supplements that it needs, the nutrition value of it. So that was our biggest thing with that.
With working dogs, or dogs in the field per se, you said there wasn't any products before this. What
Mhm.
would your opinion be? Like what would be, I don't know, the go-to way or the healthiest way for dogs? I mean, is there a healthy recovery or before kind of thing that like you found out that worked at all?
Not really. A lot of people focus on recovery, just giving protein, because the muscles need protein to recover. You feed the muscles protein, and a lot of people call that good enough, and it's just not good enough. And that's where, like, most people are feeding their dogs, but they are not actually fueling the performance of them. And there's a big difference between feeding a dog, maintaining life, versus fueling a dog to perform, recover, and stay healthy long term. There's a huge difference in all of that.
I would agree.
And that's really what I built everything around, retriever fuel. And be honest, this goes way beyond just one product. I mean, so I mean, like I said, there's a lot of great products out there, but at the end of the day, for something that's meant to be used out in the field this way, and everything that we have packed into this and what this does, there's nothing else out on the market even close to it.
For an average one, kind of going back to like the one like time a day you're feeding your dog. I mean, what is your opinion? Like, I mean, every dog is obviously different, and I think a lot of like dog handlers don't understand. I feel like some of them get their dog and they think it's going to be as good as the last one that you had, or just like the other one, and they don't understand everybody's got their different personalities or whatever it may be. What is your go-to like the feeding habits, I guess you want to say, like like the one time a day or the 2 time a day, or
Yeah. So, okay. For me, because I'm active in the gym, I go to the gym. I eat around 6 times a day. And so, and a lot of people's going to disagree with me on this. And look, this is totally fine. I'm not looking for someone to debate me on this or anything. The biggest mistake that I think dog owners make, especially ones that's working their dogs, is the biggest mistake I see is with the dog owners only feeding once a day. I mean, think about it this way. You take your dog out, you train your dog, you hunt your dog, you run your dog, you work your dog, and then they only get one meal at the end of the day. Imagine doing a full workout, or you doing an all-day project or just your normal workload day, and you only get one meal eating until midnight or in the evening, whenever it may be.
That'd be insane.
Yeah, and where people want to argue or disagree with me is, well, they worry about the bloat, or they don't want their dog going to the restroom in the middle of the field, popping a squat out in the field. I get that, but that's minor. But the popping the squat out in the field, that's a minor thing. I mean, it's going to happen. But yes, the bloat, you need to give them, 30 minutes, 45 minutes to an hour, for them to digest that food. And I get that, but you're expecting, performance out of your dog. Dogs need fuel before and after, not just one big meal when it's over. To me, it just doesn't make sense. And I know a lot of people want to argue with that. And hey, that's fine. Everybody has their way of doing things, and it's worked for them for many years. And, and some people are like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But, a lot of people that may have problems with training or whatever it may be, a lot of times it's fatigue in the dog. It's not the training. It's not the dog not listening. It's just, I mean, when you're fatigued, it's hard.
Yeah. Would you recommend feeding your dog different amounts, like say during hunting season or when they're actively training versus days where they're like not doing anything? Right?
Yeah. So that's another big thing. And it's the thing. It's just like us. We go to the gym, calories in, calories out. And if you've got no calories to burn, you're going to deplete really quickly. So yeah. So like, if for me, like if I know that I'm going to the gym and I'm going to hit legs, I'm going to get a good heavy calorie meal in, because I need that energy to burn and to push through. So that's, so I do think that you should, for a dog, the food should change a little bit depending on the workload.
Okay. You might not know this answer or not, but I guess for me, my dog's 5 years old, right? And he's kind of became more of he was started out as a pretty big hunting dog. Now he's kind of turned into more of a couch potato in a sense, hunts a little bit.
Yeah.
For a dog that's been fed 2 times a day his entire life, probably should be fed a little bit less, right? With this activity status.
Yeah.
How do you go about that with a dog that's been eating 2 times a day to now back to just 1 time a day for his health standards or health, right?
I don't know the answer to that, and I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer to that. I think if you're trying to take a dog from twice a day to once a day, I guess you just need to look at like the nutrition value to make sure like your dog is receiving the nutrition that it should be receiving. Because that is one thing that we do make the mistake of, because this is how our mind is programmed. We think everything our dog is that they need is in the kibble, and
Right.
it's not. It's not. If you knew the process of kibble, you would know. And I'm not saying all the kibbles are processed the same, but yeah,
It's the food, dog food itself is such a scary thing. Like
it is.
you hear it all the time. Every year there's a new brand that comes out, or it makes the news that this is bad for your dog, and
Yeah,
you just really never know what's actually truly healthy for your dog. And
yeah. No, you don't.
a dog, like you said in the beginning, can make a hunt that much better, and you look forward to seeing those dogs work. And again, if you haven't seen that, you're missing out, and you're missing out a big portion of. I mean, I haven't upland hunted, but like waterfowl hunting. I mean, that's one of the things I love the most about it. Like, I don't have to load my gun; I'll just watch the dog work, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's scary in the food aspect, but it's also hard for you in that industry, just because everybody uses their dog differently per se, or thinks differently
Mhm.
of their dog. I feel like it's such a, I don't want to say double-edged sword, but like there's so many different opinions on their dog. It's hard to kind of get people to understand what's healthy and what's not, I guess.
Yep, and that is one of the things, and a lot of people, because this is a new product out to the market. And a lot of people see benefits of it, and a lot of people understand, and then there's a lot of people that don't, because they just have the old way of thinking, like, well, what I've been doing has been working.
Even
Like,
my dad did the same thing, and it worked for them guys. So why would I change anything up right
yeah,
now?
why would I change? Yep.
That,
Yep. And the thing about it is, like, if you have a good dog, you want to keep that dog around as long as possible. And I mean, it's the same with us, like, as humans, we need to do better about nutrition as well. I mean, nutrition is a huge factor. And that's why I tell people, like, hey, you know, think about it. Like, what you feed your dog, would you eat it? Like, probably not. So, well, yeah.
that's that's tough. That's a very tough
Yeah.
thing. It's almost like your feet.
Yeah.
Like, people know that you're. I should say a lot of the people, because I know some people that like literally cook their dogs 5-star meals every single night and morning,
Yeah.
whatever it may be. But people know, like, you're probably
Yeah.
not feeding your dog the greatest thing, but you're still going to do it anyways. And
Yeah, and I feed. I mean, that's what I do every Sunday. I meal prep for my dog with me. Like, I cook him. It's about, for the week. Gosh, it's over 50 pounds of food for the week for him.
really,
Yeah.
holy crap! Now, have you done that since the beginning of it all? Like, since he was a pup?
Not from the beginning. I started out feeding him Origin, and then I just could never get him to go to the restroom correctly. And I was like, you know what? Wherever I started the dog treat company, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start meal prepping for him. Like, why not? Like, just feed him, all human food, and put the right nutrients in it that he needs, and go from there.
And did you see a difference in that too?
Oh, I've seen a huge difference.
In energy,
A
or
huge difference.
just like
Just
movements?
energy, movements, and just what, and like, I'll tell you. So when I was feeding him kibble, he would drink water all the time. And now, because there's so much water throughout the vegetables and everything that he gets, he hardly ever drinks water. Unless we go outside, we run, or we're doing an activity, then he's drinking water. But most of his food carries his water. Now, when he was on kibble, he was about 15 pounds heavier, and he was just full, just
water weight.
loaded. Yeah. Yep.
Are you feeding him one times a day with that meal prep?
Twice.
Twice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He gets one early in the morning and one at night.
Do you vary foods per week, or you keep it strictly the same?
I keep it all the same.
I'd be curious.
Yeah. He gets his rice, a lot of ground turkey, and then beef livers, beef organs, and then there's different fish that I put into it. And then there's a lot of eggs that I cook in with the meat as well. And then he's got his vegetables, like sweet potatoes, peas, carrots, cauliflower, stuff like that. And then he's got and then all the nutrients that I put into it as well.
I'd be curious on just like the side by side comparison of just regular dog food. I mean, obviously every dog food is a little
Yeah.
different, whatever.
Yeah.
That compared to like the meal prep, like, you know, side by side, the fattiness that the dog's whole. I'm just be
Yeah.
curious on the difference. I mean, I know there's a lot, but I would assume there's.
Yeah.
I don't know there's a lot.
Yeah.
Have you done a cost comparison between the two? Like for someone who's like a lot of people right now are very cost oriented,
Yeah.
right? And
You know, right. And that's a great question. So he was eating Origin. So he was going through a big bag, like $125 bag every 2 weeks. And right now I may be spending probably 150 every 2 weeks,
So not that.
160. Yeah. So it's not that much more, but it's just very time consuming is the thing.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's a
Now,
couple.
if I was buying my meat from the grocery store, which I couldn't get the organs and stuff, but if I was buying my meat from the grocery store, it'd probably be a lot more expensive. But I got a great butcher that I get stuff from, so it definitely helps.
Do you think that's a difference though too? Like buying food from like if you're meal prepping for your dog per se, which sounds absolutely crazy, like you're meal prepping the whole week for your, whatever it may be, but from an organic, but like just straight from the butcher or from the grocery store itself, do you think there's that much of a difference between that? Because for us, it is.
I do. I think there's a huge difference. I mean, you know, a lot of times with the butcher, I know where that meat's coming from. The other, I don't know where that cow's been that they killed. I don't know what kind of stress that cow went through before it got slaughtered. Like, and that's a big thing, you know, and when that meat was done and what they've done with it. And yeah, I'm picky about it when it comes to that. And then there again, like, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's just great to have a butcher because, I mean, a lot of times it's local cows and you know where it's coming from.
I would be curious to see the difference between that in itself too, just like organic compared to because everybody knows and everybody's seen the videos online about, you know, them pumping in whatever they pump into the chickens, the cow, whatever it is to make that meat look actually presentable per se. Compared to straight from the butcher, it's I don't know, and I wonder if feeding regular dog food compared to the grocery store meat is that much of a difference with all the chemicals in the meat compared to all the nonsense in dog food.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so much stuff about like just the dog or any animal that I guess it's mainly dogs, just dogs to try to help them out and prolong their life as much as possible. I mean, there's
absolutely
many ins and outs of it all.
There's a lot of ins and outs. And like for me, like, and just like probably for everyone else, everyone wants to keep their dog, you know, everybody that loves dogs, they want to keep their dog around as long as they possibly can. And for me, that's a huge part of me. Obviously, because my dog's been with me from since the beginning of, you know, starting this company. So it does mean a lot to me because he was there by my side during it all. So and he is a taste tester. So yeah.
I will say this now that you say the whole taste tester. I thought you were absolutely crazy when we first talked on the phone. You told me to taste the product and tell me to tell you what I thought of it, and to say that I almost ate the whole thing before my dog even got a taste of it. I mean, that would be the truth because I mean the stuff is pretty dang good. It
is, and you know, and it's amazing, like what people say, or even just the looks that I get whenever I tell people, I'm like, hey, try it. Everybody's brain is programmed like, no, like that's for a dog. I wouldn't have that. I'm like, okay, so if it's for a dog, then why would you be feeding it to your dog? You know, if you don't even want, like, so for me, you know, taste is everything too. And yes, I get a lot of dogs will just eat whatever. Like I get that. And a lot of things that we wouldn't even touch. So, but yeah, so like for me, I wanted everything, all human grade ingredients, and I wanted the best of the best. And, you know, I was like, well, if I'm going to give this to my dog, then if I'm not going to give my dog anything less than I would give myself, looking at as far as a performance nutrition and just a overall nutrition.
What has been like some of the hardest parts, you know, being all natural, and what has been some of the hardest parts coming up with this Right? There's got to be some struggle with maybe getting through to people on it all, or just making people understand what's good or bad for their dog. What's been some struggle that you've had to face with all of this?
Honestly, I don't know if it's if I've really had that hard of a time with it, because like when I first started pushing this out, and as of today I still haven't ran any marketing ads or anything like that. Everything's been word of mouth. Um with this, I think everybody was just like so open to it and wanted to try it. It was something new. And then like I think people were seeing like they seen like, okay, well, it's all natural and it's a peanut butter supplement. So like what could be bad about it for my dog? So a lot of people were really open to it. And then you got the other people who are like, well, my dog don't need anything. My dog has everything that it needs. So like you've got those people. And I think with those people, it takes them a few times to see it somewhere or
Mm-hmm.
see people use it or see someone that they know use it and see that much of a difference. Cause like I can promise you, like, and it's just like with anything, like you can definitely like you can see a difference in a dog that's getting the appropriate nutrition versus a dog that's not. You can
Mm-hmm.
see a huge difference. And that's and I you know and I believe it's huge. And that's where like there's just been such a lack. And going back to the feeding once a day, like the whole carb crash thing, like if you have a carb crash you feel awful.
Right.
And so you can imagine how these dogs are feeling. And then these dogs going hypoglycemic and all that, the sugar just crash. And a lot of times that is due to only getting fed once a day because they don't have the appropriate nutrition that they need.
Which is even crazy too, because I mean, there's a lot of guys that go out there to train dogs and run their dogs, work their dogs, whatever it may be, and maybe feel defeated with running them or how they perform that day.
Yeah.
And there's probably a slim amount of people that really break it down to the food or how you feed the dog or what they were fed like before training or whatever it may be. I just don't think that a lot of people realize that. I guess I think they almost go directly to the dog's just off or just stubborn or whatever it may be. They don't think about
exactly.
the diet that dog's on. I don't know.
No, you're exactly right. You nailed that. But and to go back to your question, like for like people wait until it's too late. And what I mean by that is people don't realize when a dog is working, it is creating damage within its body. The ligaments, the tissue, the cartilage, all of that's breaking down. A dog, jumping off the back of a truck. I mean, it's just a matter of time. And that's one big thing, like for me, like because we're so guilty of this as humans, it transfer over to our animals. So and what I mean by that is like most people wait until their dog breaks down before they start, caring about nutrition. They're like, oh man, my dog's breaking down, my dog's limping, my dog's doing this, my dog's slowing down. Oh, I should look at this nutrition, or I should look at taking this, or I should look at doing this. And at that point, it's too late. You're damaging the body because I mean the body, the joint issues, the low energy, the slowing down. And then, they start asking, well, what should I give my dog? But by that point, you're playing the catch up game.
Right.
And if you're trying to fix something, but you're still working your dog, you're still using your dog, there's no rest, because rest is a huge part of recovery as well.
I agree.
And it's just like, it's amazing how like, even like I said, like us as humans, we're not proactive. We're just not. And it's one of the things like, we need to be more reactive, not and if we become and if we're reacting and we're not proactive, we need to become proactive and be reactive about it all. And that's where like, the best dogs are built with the appropriate nutrition. And I try to emphasize that to a lot of people, and I try to push it like, hey, Like, nutrition's everything, even like for us. And I try to tell people, hey, don't wait till your dog slows down. You need to build them right from the start. And most people just don't realize it until it's too late.
Unless your dog is like a blue healer, because I've seen them things do some crazy things. They do not. It doesn't matter with them stupid things. Not stupid things. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's funny that you bring that up, but I had one girl, cattle dogs. She competes with cattle dogs. Her older dog, she started using retriever fuel, and she said her dog has never performed the way that it has since she started using retriever fuel.
Really?
She swears in it. Yep.
So hopefully she doesn't listen to this. I mean, obviously she does, but hopefully she doesn't hear me say that about blue healer.
Yeah, I think you'll be
those. I mean, that's the same with people, though. I mean, if you think about it, everybody knows somebody inside their family that doesn't want to go, like, let's say to the doctors or the dentist or whatever it may be, until it's like just so the pain or whatever is so bad where there's no coming back from it, unfortunately. And like you said, it's the same with the dogs. I mean, you can't play that game of catch up, especially with a dog. Unfortunately, I feel like their lifespan, it's not like they have the same amount of time we do, unfortunately. I mean, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, unfortunately they don't, and that's what I tell people too. Like, hey, like with my dog, he's my everything. And, they're only a part of our life and we are their whole life. And, we need to cherish every moment that they are around and try to give them the absolute best life that we can. And, so that's important, for me. And that's why I'm like, hey, like even if your dog is just a pure hunting dog or working dog, you want that dog to still last. And that's why, like, we're trying to, and we are filling that gap of the nutrition. So, because like we're so far behind with nutrition for animals, I mean, it's just, there's so many companies out there, and I call these Amazon products because there's tons of them. And if you go look at them, you go look at your hip and joint chews and stuff like that, and you go look at all the different brands, they're all basically the same. They may have one different ingredient in it versus the other, because there's only like 2 or 3 manufacturers or 4 that's producing all of these, and people are just slapping their labels on it. And those are all Amazon products, and they just pick, there's no like really research and development going into it to really give the dog the absolute best that they need. They're like, oh yeah, let's just throw some glucosamine in it. Let's throw some chondroitin in it. Oh, that's good enough for hip and joint.
Well, I feel like a big thing with not only dogs, but just in general, a lot of people are just chasing the dollar sign more than what they actually care about. So, I mean, coming from an owner of a company like yours and hearing that, like the care that you have for, I mean, I feel like it's like rare. Like you said, there's a lot of overnight companies or just night companies that swoop in for, let's say a year might be pushing it, obviously, and then they switch up again. I mean, there's just not a lot of people out there that are truly in for the right reason.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and it's not just the pet industry; it's also the human industry with all the supplements and everything that we take. I mean, same thing. I mean, it's just a few manufacturers that produce all of it, and people just put their label on it.
100%. Go ahead, Trev.
I kind of wanted to go. Yeah, I kind of wanted to go back to the word of mouth and kind of how you started to where you're at now.
Yeah.
What's that ride been like? You've started. It's been less than a year, right, since you've started.
Yeah.
And now it seems like everyone's using your product. What's that ride been like? What's the feedback you're getting from people? Just
it's been absolutely amazing. It was tough at first, but my thing was like, and I've had a lot of people, especially ask me, they're like, clearly you had the product before you launched, because people were getting to try it back in September, and I end up launching November. And they were like, so why were you sending it out to people and letting, and I'm like, because I wanted people to see the power of it. And I wanted people to know how good this product is. And you know what? If I sent it out to all these people like I did, I just reached out to people. I said, hey, I see that you love your dog, blah, blah, blah. We got a new product coming out to the market. Would love to go send you some to try it. And so got it out that way. And I didn't go after people with large followings. I didn't care if you only had 150 followers. I wanted someone that loved their dog, that worked their dog, and I just wanted them to use it and see the benefit of it because there was nothing else like it on the market. And I didn't want people thinking, oh, I just launched a product, I'm selling snake oil. And I told myself, I was like, you know what? Everybody's either going to see what we've been seeing during research and development, or they're not going to see it, and it's just going to be a total flop. And I was like, you know what? I'll take that gamble. I'll send people free product before we even launch it. You know what? If it doesn't do well, then it's not ready for the market, or the market doesn't need it.
Do you
So
think? Do you think that people thought maybe like test dummies per se, like you were kind of testing it out that way and then changing things up maybe compared to like sending product out there and not changing up like you did? Like I know you didn't change nothing up. You're just trying to get it out there to people to see how good it actually works. But maybe like they felt more of a, I don't know, like I said, like it was tested on them, and if it didn't work, then something was getting changed up maybe.
yeah, no, I didn't have anybody like that. Everybody was just so open to it because I think everybody was like, yes, finally something for our dogs. And I think, the people that I did reach out to just so happened to be the right people that knew like, hey, we need something for our dogs and we love our dog. Because everybody I did reach out to, they were so open to it. They were like, heck yes, we'd love to try it. And then some of them were like, tell me a little more about it. And there was some that kind of gave me a little bit of pushback, said, well, we're already using something. I said, that's totally fine. This is not meant to replace anything that you're using. It's just a tool to add. And I would have to break, and then some people I had to really, really break it down and let them know like, hey, this is what this and this does. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll try it. And then, so there was maybe a few people that was skeptical of it. And then they tried it. They're like, yeah, my dog loves it. I've seen a huge difference. And I was like, great. And then, so a lot, and a lot of people thought I was crazy for doing that because they're like, the word could have got out and, nobody liked it and you wouldn't have got any sales. Yeah, you're right. But you know what? I'd rather that happen than trying to push a product out, and just have people just waste money. So yeah, that was important to me. And, as much as I love my dog, so and the community has been amazing. Everybody's been great and everybody's loved it. And, it's been, a pushback from a few people, saying, well, my dog doesn't need energy, so don't need your product or whatever. Hey, that's great. That's fine. No problem. It does more than energy, but yeah.
Right.
There's always a couple people in the crowd, right, that are just there to knock you down and to do those things.
Yeah.
But I was reading through the comments today and yesterday, and it was just awesome to see all the amazing feedback you're getting from people.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like there's always stages though too. I mean, let's say a new dog owner, and I don't want to say all new dog owners, but like they just don't really know the whole
They don't.
Nutrients the dogs need, and there's like the middle guys that they want to, but like just don't maybe have the time to meal prep or whatever. And then you got the guys that care about every little ounce that goes in to their dog, and it kind of goes back to where I think it's almost funny where people going and picking up a puppy and then they're seeing their parents master hunt or whatever it may be. It's behind the scenes stuff that makes that dog act the way that they do. Is, I don't want to say energetic, but like is high strung and balls to the wall all the time. And people just think that that's how their dog's going to be. And it's just not it. Like you don't see the, like the prep for it all, the food that is brought into it all. That dog like that. I don't know. There's just stages I feel like with certain owners.
Yeah, no. And that's one of the things like, another problem, like most dogs are fed like house pets, not athletes. And if we have these dogs out working, they are athletes. I mean, they're, and then like kibble, to me, it's a baseline survival at the end of the day. That's what it is. It's a food, it's a baseline. They need it. It's not an optimization. I mean, active dogs, they burn through energy, joints, recovery, all of that. And so and and if you're asking your dog to perform like an athlete, then but you're feeding them like a couch dog, there's a huge disconnect there.
Yeah.
And you can't expect performance if you're not fueling performance. And that's a big thing, because like, same thing. Like, I mean, if you're a human, you're going to go run a marathon, but you eat potato chips and everything before that. Yeah, you're not going to do very well.
I tell
Yeah,
you what,
that's
though, there are some rare people out there that I know, like playing ball back in the day, where there were some people that just eat ice cream and do whatever. Just seemed like, how in the world are you doing this right now?
Those are different genetics.
But yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's a needle in a haystack right there.
Yeah.
no, but that's one of the crazy things you think about too when you're bringing you're training your dog, you're doing these things. One of the things you never really, at least for me, and maybe Kyle, you're different, but like I never thought about the nutritional side of your dog, right? Like you learn all the different, like the training videos and stuff, and how to make sure your dog is the best hunting dog it can be, but you don't think about the nutritional side to make that dog the high
I mean,
performance machine you want it to be, right?
the thing is, nobody's ever broke it down though. Like nobody really kind of
Mhm.
like, describes or explains why your dog needs this or why your dog needs that. I mean, I don't want to
Yeah.
say needs, but like should get this for this reason or that reason or whatever it may be. Like there's no recovery process that has came out. Um, to help your dogs, prolong their life and their joints or whatever it may be. There's just been nothing out there. Like you said, it's just all been, this is what you do to train your dog to do this, but there's no after, like after the camera shuts off, that's it. That's all you see. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how long do you like say, I guess, like for somebody using retriever fuel, how long does it take for somebody to kind of see a difference, do you think, in their dog? Every dog's different, I know, but
you know, I've gotten a lot of responses, and then also like our field testing, a lot of responses and our field testing. And our field testing is real. Like it's not just like some lab field test used on a rat or something, but no.
big, just saying, no.
Yeah. From people commenting and everything, like, people are seeing a real difference within the first 30 minutes. And that comes down to the energy part of it. So they're seeing a huge energy. And the energy is not like going to drink a Red Bull or anything like that. So like I like to tell people like, hey, like our energy, like we're not like gasoline. It's not like pouring it on a fire and it just explodes. No. We are more like diesel fuel. We are slow burning and we just go all day.
It's prolonged.
And
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. And then like 24 hours, like if you work your dog extremely hard that day and you know how your dog is, like, hey, it takes them a little longer to move the next day or, warm up or whatever, you're going to notice a big difference within 24 hours of using the product as far as the recovery part of it as well.
You're
I've
thinking
only, go
one
ahead.
one pack, you're going to see the difference of it all. Like it's not going to take a
Oh,
while
yeah.
using it all.
No,
It's the one time.
no.
Okay, I got you.
Yep, yep. One pack, you're definitely gonna see it. It's not like something you have to wait 30 days to see or 2 weeks to see something. And I've had quite a few people send me Instagram messages like, "Holy crap!" I couldn't believe it, and I took my dog off of it to see if I was just imagining it or what. But a lot of people's come back and said that the focus part really works. Like, they're giving it to their dog first thing in the morning. And they notice that their dog is more alert, more focused. So, but yeah, there's a lot to it.
For in your recommendation, are you using this product outside of just the hunting, the work days, and when are you starting your dog? So like I say, I get a brand spanking new puppy. Am I starting to use this retriever fuel with my dog then?
Yeah, no, if you get a brand new puppy, you need to wait at least bare minimum at least 6 months. And yeah, 6 to 8 months is definitely a good time to you can introduce it to your pup. And there's nothing in it that will hurt the pup. It's just that what's in it, the puppy doesn't really need. So, but yeah, but it is amazing to be able to start a dog very, very early on a pup. And because you're not going to do, I mean, you're doing everything to help protect the joints and the cartilage and all of that as well. And what was the other question you asked on that?
Like, so are you giving, like for your dog, are you giving them it every single day? Or are you just giving them
Yes.
on
So
work days?
yeah. So no. So me and well, I've had to cut back, but me and my dog, I kid you not, we were eating about a pack every day. And because like even like I can feel a difference in it where after a long day of working out, like the next day.
Wait, you're saying that you and your dog were eating a pack a day?
Yeah, me and my dog, yeah.
So you were eating
Yes, me.
okay.
Yes.
I was just
Yeah.
wondering. I was just making.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah,
that after
definitely.
the cutback or is that before the cutback?
No, that's before the cutback.
Okay.
So yeah. So like if I have a really hard day at the gym or whatever, then I'll put a little bit on a bagel and then that's it. But yeah. But yeah, I don't buy peanut butter from the stores anymore because I don't know where it's coming from. And after all the research and now since I am in that industry, knowing everything that I know, yeah, no, I'm good.
It's one of those things where I feel like a lot of people, I don't know, myself included, honestly, is one of those things where I'd rather not know instead of
Yeah.
know, just because like
Yeah.
I don't know, like even like the videos of them blowing the chicken up, to make them look juicy or whatever. I don't want to see that, man. I don't want to see how the chicken nuggets are made or the whatever's made.
Yeah.
I'm good. They taste good
I
for
do.
me, and I'm good.
I get that. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like, I wouldn't say that there's like really, I mean, yes and no, but nothing like really bad within like the peanut butter. Yeah, because like the largest suppliers of peanuts is from India and China and Nigeria. Those are the largest suppliers.
Which is crazy.
And then next would be the US and Mexico. So and a lot of the peanuts do come in from India and China, to all these major, huge peanut butter operations. And I know people look at Retriever Fuel like, wow, man, peanut butter, like, and I haven't had anybody complain about the price, which, the amount of supplements that we have in it is ginormous. But I know like with my regular dog brand, some people will say, well, a 12-ounce jar versus, that's $12 and I can get a pound of it or whatever for $6. I'm like, yeah, but we're talking two totally different things. But yeah,
Well, I mean, it kind of goes back to the grocery or from the butcher. I mean, like which one do
yeah,
you?
exactly. So yeah. And to go back, I mean, what proper, canine nutrition, I tried to focus, like I said, on the four pillars with this. I didn't want like four different packs, one for energy, one for hip and joint. It's just too much. So, and yes, it was extremely, extremely difficult having the consistency that we have with the amount of supplements that we have in it. I've had people ask, well, why not it just in a pill? Because like the amount of supplements that we have in it, I mean, that pill would be the size of a golf ball.
That would be tough.
And I'll, yeah. And I'll tell you, when we were first, getting into it with the supplements and everything, the first run, well, the first 5 runs, I mean, our peanut butter just turned into a brick.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, kind of even going back towards like the pill aspect of it all. I mean, there's a lot of dogs that don't like taking anything that
Exactly.
even or whatever. I haven't met one dog or heard of any dogs that don't like peanut butter.
Yeah. No. And it's very, very rare. And I think I've only met maybe 2 people out of all this that their dog doesn't like peanut butter. Yeah. Yep.
Would you? Because I know you just said your consistency turned to a brick. How many trial and error runs do you have to do to get that consistency so it's staying that more of a fluidy texture to it?
So that was when we were first starting out and going through the research and all of that and trying to bring the product to life. And because the supplements that are in it, those are not the first supplements that started throughout it. Like one of the supplements like that's known for hip and joint is chondroitin. chondroitin, whenever it gets into something like that, it becomes real gummy. So stuff like that hardens up or it just becomes gummy. So it's a lot of trial and error, and then just trying to figure out what was the absolute best that a canine needs as far as its complete nutrition. Now, yes, there is some other stuff that could be added to it. I don't want to say complete nutrition, but an overall top stack nutrition for working dogs. I just wanted to be able to put the best of the best what we could in there. So
That's got to be such a hard thing too. I mean, kind of. So you say you came from like a construction background, or like
yeah,
I don't know if you still do that or whatever, but
I do. Yeah.
to like, have you always been this knowledgeable on like what goes into like food or what's better for dogs or whatever? Maybe I mean that's got to be a whole different learning curve at that point to kind of understand.
Yeah. It was definitely a huge learning curve, huge, and just what it just takes to be able to put a product out to the market.
Right.
Also, huge learning curve. As far as supplements, yes, I had a pretty good understanding of supplements. What supplements are good, what's not, what works, what doesn't, or what amounts and stuff like that. And yes, it's different, for dogs and the size of dogs. But I did have some help. I I had pet nutritionists and then I had some veterinarians that helped with like the supplement line of it. And then also, I have a lady, she's developed a lot of products for a lot of different pet companies. And so she helped tremendously.
Now, I guess that brings like to another question. You said like the size. Is there
Mhm.
a go-to amount that you should feed a dog or give a dog, depending on like their weight or what size of a dog it is? Is there a certain?
No, like on the back of our pack, I mean, we have it on there. So on the back, recommended serving size based on dog's weight, under 25 pounds, a quarter to a half a pack. Um, 25 to 60 pounds, a half to three quarter, over 60 pounds, one full pack. The thing with this, there's nothing in here that can hurt a dog if they eat too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is because of the active ingredients, the supplements that are in it. If a dog is not used to it and they get a lot of it, it could cause them to go to the restroom.
Right.
Especially like our shiitake mushroom and stuff that's in there. MSM is known for that as well. But yeah,
Interesting. There's there's so much, and I personally would never be able to just really break all this down like you have. I mean, it's insane. It's a whole different learning curve, like I said before, just to understand the process of how everything works like that.
yeah.
I don't know. It's something. With the product itself, you talked about a lot of word, like just the word getting out there compared to, a lot of people online nowadays. It seems like if you don't pay money to put it in front of people, you're really not even a part of the game anymore. Do you think, I mean, that was the best route wise? I just feel like there's so many people that just pay money to get their name or the product out there
Yeah.
and kind of just fake it till you make it kind of thing. I feel like instead of just doing it the
Yeah.
whole natural way. I guess what's your
So,
on that?
yeah. So, I mean, companies look at it. I mean, a lot of companies that I know, and it's kind of crazy how a lot of companies operate. Like I told you before, like for me, I didn't care if you had 100,000 followers versus 150 followers. That doesn't matter to me. I don't care about your following. It doesn't do anything for me. And the same thing for me. Like, I don't know. On Instagram, I think with Retriever Fuel, I have a couple thousand followers. I'd rather have a couple thousand followers that are loyal, that is purchasing our product, versus 100,000 people that are just, not purchasing anything.
Boss bait.
So, yeah. So for me, yes, because Retriever Fuel being a brand new product, I thought it was the best route as far as marketing to go to get it into people's hands that I felt like I trusted, that I reached out to personally. The
Mm-hmm.
owner of the company, me, reaching out to them personally and saying, hey, like this is a brand new product. We haven't launched it yet. We're getting close. And so I didn't, because you can either do that or you can just spend a lot of ad marketing dollars. And
Or
I would rather take that money that I'm going to spend on ad marketing dollars and then spend it on the product to send it out to people for them to try it, especially people that I know that loves their dogs and that people that are appreciative of it. Um, but yes, I get there is a lot of companies out there that feel like, hey, like if we send out 5,000 units of these and it just looks like it's everywhere, people are like, oh, I need one of those, I need to buy one of those. Yes, I get that. And a lot of people and a lot of those companies, they heavily focus um on how many followers that they have and this and that, and like, oh, you need to have 50,000 plus followers. Yeah, we're not like that, and I don't care for that. But yeah, and hey, whatever works for companies works. You know, but I do like, there is a lot of people out there that do have some followers, and they're just like, yeah, I'll do it for the free product. So yeah.
it's pretty crazy. I mean, in this industry, um, the hunting industry alone, how much social media has like engulfed everybody's brains, and just like brainwash people on, you got to have this amount of followers or this amount of likes per post, or you got to have the blue check mark to be something. And I mean, it's hard to even tell who's real and who's fake nowadays, because
It
buying followers, and it's such a
is.
bad look on so many different things. And for an outsider looking into the hunting world, I mean, it like, why would you even want to get involved with something like that? And it's an unfortunate.
Mhm.
Sure.
It is.
So for you to look at, what you've created, and look at it to where, if I just get the right people, in front of the product itself, it would help me out a lot more. I mean, it's a lot different than what other people think, I guess. It's the right way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It is, but I mean, that's just like with anything though. And they've been doing it for such a long time, like with celebrities. Oh, that celebrity has this. I need to do that.
100%.
It's just like, the cult followings that a lot of these people have. Not like necessarily like with our in our industry, but like as far as movie stars, actors, or whatever, people are like, oh, well, that person has this, so I need it. So, do you know who Brittany Aldean is?
Is it Jason Aldean's wife? No,
Yeah,
is it really?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah. Then I mean, I don't know her, but I mean, I heard
yeah.
the name and just put
So
there.
a few years ago, they lived right down the road from me, and ran into her at the gas station. I didn't recognize her, and then she got to talking about my dog being in the back of the vehicle. And then it was before I even launched Retriever Fuel, and I gave her one of my dog products of my company, just the regular normal dog products. And
Mhm.
then she took it, and then she fell in love with it, and she posted about it, and like within like I don't know, within like an hour, it was sold out on Amazon.
Wow.
And I'm like, just the so like, and I think a lot of companies look at it that way. They're like, oh, well, if I pay this person, $100,000 to endorse my product, and we're going to get sales or whatever it may be. So, yeah, you do have all that going on as well.
That's a double-edged sword, though, too, because I mean, as a owner trying to make money, obviously, I mean, that's why we do what we do. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not doing it just for nothing, I guess. Even though I guarantee you, I don't know, I don't want to say all of the industry, but for the most part, we'd love to do it just for nothing at all, and just do it because of
Absolutely.
the love of it all. It's hard because you want that kind of the views from everybody, but at the same time, I mean, it's not really the right way, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you love the money coming in,
Yeah.
the product going off the shelves, but I don't know. You don't want to just from something like that. I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess, but hopefully you kind of know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I get it. And it is one of those things, like a lot of things, it is like unfortunate because, it is hard because like you do have a lot of influencers out there that will just agree to market a product regardless if it's good or not. And you don't know if it's good. So like you go buy something and it's not good. You're like, well, what the crap? Like, you know?
That's for sure.
So
I mean, even like when we talked about one of the shows that you went to, and you know, you talk to people and see these shows, and you know, see these people online, and you think you know the person they are, and to kind of see it all full circle. Social media is deceiving. I'll just say that. That's all I got
yeah.
to say.
Yep. And it's, yeah, I don't know. It's sad, but hey, that's just the world that we live in. So, you know,
All we could do is
Gotta roll
just
with it.
try to make do the right thing and make the people in front of us or the people following us
yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
or Trav, I don't think you asked your famous question that you asked before the podcast. That would have been a
No,
great
I've been wanting to ask. I was just waiting for the right time. But
right now.
What is
what's
this
your secret
question?
ingredients? I know, I'm just kidding. No, just for the dog owner, right? What
Mhm.
using retriever fuel, like for I
Yeah.
guess like my parents or my in-laws and stuff, they have their regular day a house dog. It's getting older. Should they be using retriever fuel?
Or is it just for
Um,
what you're saying?
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, I mean, to add to like if they want to use it as a kibble topper, they can put it on the kibble or just use it as a good treat. And that's another thing, you know. So yes, like absolutely, I totally think that they should because it's going to bring that dog back to life. It's going to give the dog energy, and that's the other amazing thing about our product because people, you know, and this is and this could be marketing or you know awareness on my side, but some people don't want to give it to their dogs at night, thinking it's going to promote the energy. No, it doesn't work that way. It's not like a caffeine energy drink. So you can give it to your dog. You don't have to worry about oh the dog's going to start bouncing off the walls because I gave them this. But what's amazing is with our product. So I know I told you there's four pillars to our product with Retriever Fuel. We focus on the energy, the hip and joint, the focus, and the recovery. And but this product does so much more than just that. But I can't like put 20 different things on the packaging. So, you know, for me, like I tell everybody like energy and endurance, hip and joint mobility, the recovery, muscle, inflammation support, cardiovascular health, big with that, brain and focus, big with the brain. And it also works on a hydration level. We don't hydrate the dog, but we do help the dog stay hydrated longer, holding its nutrients longer, and also working on a cellular level with antioxidant protection with the muscle cell repair and all of that. So it's phenomenal how it works, and so it covers a lot of things.
It's almost one of those things you look at the back and then you kind of like got to pull a tab down and a whole list of the paper comes
That's
down.
what you
the
got to
back.
do is you got to have the sticky tab and then it just
The
pulls and
sticky
pull.
tab,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Just
you have
Yeah.
on the
folds.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's and that's one thing, and maybe I need to do better at marketing, letting people know, like, hey, this is what all this product does. Because a lot of people don't know, you know, they're
It's
just, you know, so yeah.
it's hard. I mean, good for you, good for the industry that like you came up with a product that cares about you know our companion that we bring out there every single day and I mean, like you said, being one of the only ones that have really kind of, I don't want to say like the only ones, but like the one that, I don't know, took the next step, I guess, to actually really care about the dogs
Yeah.
out there and the health of it and prolonging them out there. And I don't know, it's, you got a really good thing going, man.
I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like the biggest hump is too is just the owner of the dog, right? Because we're a lot of us, like I would say myself, is very uneducated in the health of my dog. So
Yeah.
having a product like this that is very beneficial for my dog, but then I see it, I'm like, well, maybe I don't have a hunting dog. I just have a house dog.
Yeah.
But this product actually might help put a couple extra years in my dog's life potentially with the joints and the brain and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like having that knowledge to then be able to, okay, I'm gonna start giving my dog this a little bit in the morning, a little bit at night, type of thing.
Well, I feel like that's hard too, though, because everybody views their dog differently, though. Or, you know, I mean, there's people that go out there, you know, let's say 4 or 5 times a year with their dog, and it's a waterfowl dog. Well, it's only out there 4 or 5 times a year. Other people will look at that and just kind of laugh at it, which, I mean, everybody's got their own opinions or different viewpoints on it all, and nobody should judge anybody for doing it. But it's also hard, I feel like, at the same time
Yeah.
to change their mindset on certain things, or the why, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing about, fixing, people not being proactive.
Mm-hmm.
And we wait till a problem to come up, and then we want to try to fix it. And then, a lot of times it's too late. And then you have to start, spending more money than what you originally could have been spending.
Right.
And that's just and that's a big thing, because, like, the one of the biggest things, like, I keep telling people, like, joint issues, the hip and joints. Like, when your dog gets older, it's hard on a dog.
For sure.
And, and I know a lot of people that go and do, like, the red light therapy for their dogs for the hip and joints. And it's like the amount of money that they're spending on that. If you could have just, give your dog something like this, I'm not saying that it would have prevented it, but I'm saying that it could have helped. Like, that's one big thing, like, we've been working on too, is while retriever fuel is great and it is wonderful, and obviously I'm a true believer in it, and everybody that has used it is a true believer in it and has seen a difference. We have something, because, and I have to be careful how I word this, but this is very powerful by itself. While it's meant to be used on the go out in the field, but we have something more powerful coming than this that's going to be sitting on the shelf. Anytime that you feed your dog, you're going to give this to your dog. And the other thing too is, like, changing the mindset. It's kind of what you had said earlier about, yeah, I bring a bag of treats for my dog. I'm trying to change that mindset of people, like, hey, don't waste your money on just spending on treats. Like, add nutrition to that. So, like, anything that you're giving your dog, make sure it has a nutrition value to it, not just a treat. Because, like, it's just like, people that go to the blinds, they want to go buy sticky buns, honey buns, Twinkies, and whatever. There's no nutrition value to that. So
What's wrong?
you're,
Hey,
you're spending.
easy on the honey bun. Easy on the couch.
You just called
So
out
you're
my
spending.
hunting blind bag. That's exactly what's in my blind bag.
So you're spending money on that, and there's no nutrition value. And the same thing, like, for dogs, like, you could go buy something that has a nutrition value to it and give it to them just like a treat, because this right here, this is a huge reward for dogs. Dogs love this. They're like, oh my gosh, this is heaven.
Right.
So, but yeah,
I just feel like taking the time to actually care enough to take that extra
Yeah.
step, I feel like, too. What is like the biggest thing that you've seen, I guess, like the biggest is it in a dog? Is it the hips? Is it, the brain itself? Like, what is the biggest thing that takes a dog downhill, I guess, that retriever fuel has helped with, I guess, or is able to help with?
So we get tons of feedback from dogs that are 7 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, and what we're seeing here in the U.S. is not just limited here in the U.S. We're seeing the exact same thing in the U.K. So, like, our mind is not playing games with us. Hey, does this work or not? Like, no. So, but so I've had people in the UK and here in the US having older dogs, like, especially one guy over in the UK. I sent him retriever fuel, and he's got a 7-year-old dog, and they hunted hard all day long, and in a torrential downpour rain as well, so even harder on the dog. And he said usually after a long hard day of work, his dog will not move the next day. Won't even get up and go eat. And so he used retriever fuel that whole entire day on that dog. And he said the next day she was bouncing around like a 3-year-old. Yeah.
That's I mean,
And
that's awesome. Like, you hear that feedback from your own product. I mean, that's got to be an amazing feeling.
it is. It is. And, it's priceless to know that we are making a change. And, That's why I'm so excited about this other product coming out too, because like I get not everybody wants to use like some messy peanut, or what some people call it a little messy, because like they try to squirt the whole pouch in their dog's mouth.
Right.
But not everybody's like they can use this at a certain place. But the next product coming out is going to be amazing, and using those two together is, I mean, there's nothing that's going to compete with it.
That's why I gave Trav a pack. And you ever see that video of that guy like cover himself with peanut butter and sit in the car or whatever and start dancing? Trav just
Yeah.
identical to that
I
guy.
was just doing this.
Yeah.
Don't do that on here.
Oh, that's hilarious.
What where can people find you on socials, or where can people connect with?
So find us on Instagram at Retriever Fuel. Same thing. You can go to our website. All of our information is on Instagram, on our Facebook. Find it that way. But yeah, that's usually the easiest way. And if you have a question about anything, you can, on our website, you can send us an email through there, or you can send us a DM on Instagram. We're pretty good at responding to those. So yeah.
And you did say, without getting into details, there's more coming down the pipeline. Just not saying too much, which is super exciting to hear, though, too.
Yeah. We it is amazing. This new product, the results that seeing out of it during the testing, it's amazing, and I'm excited about it. It's different, but it's going to be amazing. And we're still trying to get everything fired up and going with the manufacturer over in the UK as well, to get the UK built out. Because the UK, the amount of messages that I get from people daily over in the UK,
Really,
it's insane. It's insane. Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
do you think they like waterfowl hunters, or just the everyday usage?
Pheasant hunting over there is huge.
Oh, I guess.
But just everyday use, because those people over there, so we may have one or two dogs, but someone over there has got 6, 7, 8 dogs. So, and a lot of people that I am seeing, they have, like I said, 6, but they, some of them, even if they don't have 6, they got 3. So,
Right.
But yeah, they just everyday use, because, and it's funny that people over in the UK seem to understand this more than people in the US. And I can't find the disconnect there, because I haven't shared any information in the UK that I haven't shared here with people in the US. And I don't know if it's because like their restrictions are a lot more over there than what they are here.
Or I wonder if that's even
all
just
the different supplements and stuff like that. That's probably what it is.
or even like just the bring up itself. Like growing up, you're just feeding your dog normal stuff, and like when I was growing up, no one was meal prepping their dog food for.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder what is the disconnect between all of that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been trying to figure that out, but yeah. Like I said, I haven't shared any more information over there. And realistically, I mean, we're not approved in the UK, but I just send them out as gifts over there. I'm not nobody's allowed to purchase. The website won't let them purchase over there. So I just send them out as gifts over there. So but yeah, it's
Start calling
it's
Escobar open here.
I know. People are like, so what happens if my dog is addicted to this now? I'm like, I don't know what to say. You just have to wait for us to get over there.
All right, let's see how you're working over there. I see it. But
Yeah.
You're flying bags of retriever fuel over
Exactly.
to the UK.
what's that one movie? The guy's dropping the stuff out of the plane and laying it out.
Oh, yeah, it's got Tom Cruise in it. What is that?
I forget the
can't
name.
think of it.
I see
Yeah.
the clips all the time on that though. But there's Chad flying through the air, dropping.
Yeah.
But Chad, I appreciate your time, man. I'm glad that we actually got to connect. I'm glad we were able to maybe teach a lot of people out there just more of the backing of giving your dog the right supplements and just allowing your dog or understanding more of why your dog's reacting a certain way, depending on maybe their food or their diet or the amount of times they feed them, whatever it may be. And just what you've done with Retriever Fuel and looking out for our, loved animals that we bring out to the field every day. It's always good to meet people like yourself that truly care, not just care about the dollar sign or the following amount or whatever it may be. So again, I really appreciate you spending some time with us today, and I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Same, guys. I appreciate y'all having me on here, and I'm glad we could finally, get to do it and everything. And with this, I mean, if there's one thing I want people to take away from this is just, start thinking about your dog like an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the one thing that you can get out of this, just think about him as an athlete, because once you do that, everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you feed them, how you train them, how you take care of them, and that's really what Retriever Fuel is built around. Just making it easier for people to actually do that, because it's not hard to go add some extra nutrition to your dog with this. Like, whenever you go to feed them kibble, just take it and spread some on their kibble. And it's just the peace of mind, just knowing that your dog is getting nutrition, and that's what it's about. And I'm hoping people can start seeing that and realizing, like, hey, like, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm worried about nutrition for myself. Why am I not doing the same for my dog? So
100%. 100%. Again, I greatly appreciate you just even thinking of it. I mean, you've honestly taught me a lot just in a short amount of time about the way I look at it. Because I've be honest with you, I've fallen victim to not really taking much time to really care, unfortunately, about that kind of stuff. And thanks for making me feel bad, man. I'm just joking.
Have you thought about doing like a pamphlet or something like that you would either maybe like sell or even just to put in with the boxes to like maybe like just like a help type of thing?
Yeah, so I am looking into doing some pamphlets to put in with the boxes. So when we ship these boxes out, it does come with a little field guide use card to tell you, hey, it tells you how to feed your dog, when to feed your dog, when to give it to your dog, or not, So, and then there's a QR code that you can scan on the back of the card. But I am going to start, maybe shipping like a little pamphlet or a little postcard, for that, because like I do want people to get the understanding of like, hey, like this does much more than just what's on this package, because not everybody can sit here and, read on this box, and know what each one of these supplements do.
Right.
And it's like the same thing, like, our omega DHA, we don't use any fish oil or anything in our product. That is 100% allergy based. That was probably one of the hardest products to get my hands on, because we get our omega-3 DHA, we get it straight out of Brazil.
Wow.
It's the highest percentage of content of DHA that you can get your hands on.
Wow.
Super, super clean.
That's super interesting.
Yeah. So, and that just goes back to like our product, like I said, everything that we use in it is all human grade ingredients, even down to our supplements. We don't use any pet grade ingredients, no pet grade supplements. Everything's all human grade. It's and same supplements, like it's the cleanest supplements that we can get our hands on, GMO free, all of that.
Which is very rare for anything you're giving your animals to like for them to intake, I guess. I mean, everything that you give them, it seems like there's something bad in there, obviously, besides this product.
Absolutely. And that's the same thing. Like our shiitake mushroom, like if there's like our shiitake mushroom powder, like, it's an organic shiitake. I don't have organic beside it, but we do use an organic shiitake mushroom powder. So, we spend a lot of extra in that. And yes, you can tell a difference just in the powder color of the shiitake mushroom if it's organic or it's not, which is wild. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of like wild things in there. I mean, you learn a lot just off of building this whole thing, man. I would have never guessed there was a different even color than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But a lot of things in general either. Chad, again, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time. If you could just stay on a little bit after this, again, greatly
Absolutely.
appreciate it. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully, you learned as much as I did on this episode, and we will catch you guys on the next one.